Thank you very much, Manny, for that very kind and lengthy introduction. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. Times like these, I wish my mom was around because she never said anything so nice about me. Let me begin by, number one, thanking the great Manny Ruiz and this great event, Hispanicize. 8 years in a row, bringing energy, bringing light, bringing focus to one of the most vibrant communities in our entire nation. I'd like to also recognize the individuals without whom we could not do this work. The School Board of Miami-Dade. I'm blessed to have the Chair of the Board, Dr. Larry Feldman, the Vice Chair of the Board, Dr. Marta Perez, and School Board Member, Dr. Martin Karp, here with us, as well as Ms. Andreina Figueroa, representing Ms. Susie Castillo's office. I am also very proud to have my beautiful wife, Maria Carvalho, here with me, and something very unusual, my brother, Pedro Carvalho, has joined me also from Portugal. And that's about as much of niceties as I will say tonight. Because, folks, you may walk 1,000 miles, and if you help no one, you've got nowhere. You may climb 1,000 mountains, but if you have elevated no one, you've achieved nothing. You may cross deserts and forests alike, but if you saved no one or stood for nothing, you've accomplished nothing. And I say this because I am worried. I am worried as a superintendent. I am worried as a proud American by choice, not by chance. I am worried because I am tired of hugging mothers and fathers with tears streaking down their cheeks because they fear what tomorrow may bring. I have to confess something to you. I do not belong on this stage. There is nothing in my DNA or my history that would guarantee I would be on this stage of hope and opportunity. Nothing. For you see, my father had no more than a third-grade education. My mother, the same. My father started out as a custodian, my mother as a seamstress. They had 6 kids. Until my brother Pedro graduated high school, I was the only one who had graduated high school. We grew up in poverty. And yes, after graduating high school, I came to this country. And within 4 hours, with few questions asked, I was scrubbing pots and pans in the sweaty kitchens of Manhattan. Nobody cared about a paper. They only cared that they could use and abuse me to do work that nobody else would. I would be a hypocrite if I today did not stand for those who today travel the same journey that I traveled. You have to be very careful about who you keep out because you do not know the magic they could bring in. You see, many people these days say a lot and mean little. They forget that knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. And sometimes we ought to listen to those who are more experienced, more compassionate, more passionate than the rhetoric we often hear from the powers that be. This is not a time to be silent. This is not a time to retreat into the comfortable darkness of ignorance. This is a time to advance and to be bold and to speak for those who have no voice and to stand for those who are invisible and to be strong for those who are fragile. Is that not the America that we know? Is that not the vision that's been taught to us? Is that not the promise we make? For if we decide to be a different America, then let's vote on that. But if we decide to be a different America and stand for different principles and stand for different values and stand for different morals, then we ought to proclaim that loudly. And in the process, remove the inscription from the Statue of Liberty and turn off the light. Until that time, there is one America of many people, of many voices, of many credences, of many beliefs, of many religions. But together, we become this beautiful pixelation of hope and opportunity, that one dream in this one promised land that we call America, where under God's appreciation, there is an opportunity for a little child to become someone, a little child to build something, a little child and a mother to flee somewhere. Much like those that fled the Holocaust and were received with open arms in our nation, much like those who fled oppression from nearby Cuba and came here for democracy and opportunity, much like those that today flee Venezuela seeking economic freedom and empowerment, much like those that are fleeing Europe out of fear of repression that once again is taking hold. This is that one nation, defined not by closed hands and clenched fists, but open minds and boundless hearts. That is the America I teach the kids in this community, where everyone is someone, with open doors, defying those that want to rip families apart and yank children from the safe havens that schools represent. I said it then, I will say it now. Over my dead body will any federal entity come into our schools and take our children. So I know today is a day of happiness. There are nominees and there are winners, and I want to congratulate you. But I am on a mission. Every time there is a podium and a microphone, I shall use my voice to speak the truth, to advance the best of us through us for our nation, not just as superintendent of the highest performing urban school system in America, with a graduation rate that for the very first time surpassed 80%, with Latino, Hispanic kids that have overcome challenges. And even though they do not necessarily speak perfect English, but they speak 2 great languages, sometimes 3. We ought to love that. And they're doing it better than any other kid across the country. Which tells me that understanding Miami, this diverse, crazy community with salsa in the air and bachata and rice and beans and plátanos is a good thing. For how boring would it be if all we had was white rice? So, my friends, let me leave you with this. I do not deserve to be on this stage, but by the grace of God and my own design, destiny matched up against what we build by ourselves, here I am. And if a son of poor people, if an immigrant to this country, if somebody who once was homeless in the streets of Miami can do it, there's no reason as to why every single kid in our country shall not do it. From the ghettos to the suburbs, they must do it. But we must do it honorably, not just leading for ourselves, but taking everybody else with us. That is our vision, that is our charge. Being proud of who we are as Americans, but never forgetting who we were and still are in our hearts. Our generation is not lost. Our heritage cannot be compromised. It is okay to be a Latino Americano, a Hispanic American. We are who we are, and we are here. One American, one people, under God. God bless you. Congratulations to the winners tonight.